Uh-oh, he's gonna set him up. He's gonna set him up for that bullshit move again. People in the place to be. What's going on? It's me. We're doing Wrestling with Regret again. This is another one that I absolutely positively had to react to. I watched a couple of the other ones. A couple of the other ones good. I watched most recently I watched the Vince Russo one. I gotta say, Brian Zane. That was funny as hell. Here I had to react to this one. Top 8 worst finishers, because I probably have some of my own. You might disagree with me. Off the top of my head, rather, I'm gonna prejudge this one. Hit the graphic. Thank you. I'm gonna prejudge this one and say that the Worm is probably number 1, and the People's Elbow is probably number 2 or 3. I would say it could be the Rock's ankle shooter, because that is shit. It could be the World's Strongest Slam, because, yeah, I know Mark Henry's 400 to 500 pounds on any given day, but that's kind of a shitty move, too. Or, I mean, it could be any number of them. It could be the high knee. Remember the high? We're going to get into that a little bit later. We're going to go with it. Wrestling with Regret, top 8 worst finishers starts right now. Oh, a new intro! I like the old one. Alright, though. Oh, I understand. He wanted to get cornet and he wanted to get corny in it. I ain't mad at it.
In wrestling, there is nothing more conclusive than a finishing maneuver. Unless you're John Cena, or Brock Lesnar, or The Undertaker, or anyone in Ring of Honor. You know what? Few things in wrestling are as conclusive as a finishing maneuver. But while there are several finishers out there that can leave an audience breathless, there are plenty out there that leave people saying, wait, that took him down? There are a ton of lame finishers out there, and this week I'm going to rank them, the top 8 worst finishers of all time. Number 8. The leg drop. Hulk Hogan may be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but
that's interesting.
I love his finishers. If Hogan were the only person to ever use a leg drop, then I would be fine with it, because at least it would be exclusive to him. But other guys have been dropping the leg for as long as I can remember. Big guys, little guys, on the ground, with the opponent standing up, when the opponent's bent over, you name it. The only way this finisher would have been convincing is if Hogan's atomic leg drop actually emitted atomic radiation. Now it's just Hogan's career that's radioactive. What you gonna do?
I think there's a reason for that one. I think it's because everybody used it that
Number
it's less
7.
effective now. But in reality, it makes sense.
This entry is for the family of nerve holes, your brain claws, your stomach claws, your armpit claws? That's not an intimidating move. Maybe I'm not old school enough to appreciate
not mandible.
The nuances of a well-applied claw hold, but to me they look so boring and ineffective, and so easy to get out of.
Yeah, the stomach claw looks like shit.
Arms and legs free. What's stopping him from just fighting back? Oh God, I'm gonna claw hold. Oh God, it hurts. Oh God. Dude, no.
See, I didn't see one clip of the mandible claw in there.
Whatever the hell this is. Great defense now. Byron Saxton. I totally forgot Byron Saxton was on NXT before becoming an announcer.
What the hell is that?
No wonder this guy was destined for the announce table. And yet he's lame at that too. Why
that looks like shit. Again? I'm glad I never saw that before. That looks like shit. That looks as bad as Edge's little hook the arm bullshit he did.
It's a rock bottom with a flip.
Yeah.
That's it. How does that make it more impactful of a move other than it's more impressive to look at? I'm not sure which part of the move is more unbelievable. The guy giving it is able to hold on to his opponent while flipping over, or if the guy taking it is light enough to be flipped over on the strength of his opponent's
it's ridiculously unbelievable.
I knew there was another reason I didn't like Pirate Paul Burchill.
Yeah. It's impressive to look at, but if you think about it for half a second, it's like, what the fuck is that?
The overdrive. Also known as the Playmaker, this move's been used by a few people over the years. Randy Orton, Carlito, MVP, to name a few. And there's a good reason no one's jumped up to claim exclusive rights to the move. Because it sucks. The overdrive is a move just complicated enough to screw up, yet just boring enough to look like it doesn't hurt. The guy taking it, that is. Nothing is more devastating to your opponent than slamming your own knee into the mat as hard as you can right after putting yourself in a really awkward, off-balance position. Give it the RKO any day.
It looks like, I mean, it could be a neck breaker with the leg.
Number 3.
But yeah, it's not one of the better ones of all time.
Strikes to the head and neck area. This entry includes moves like the Polish Hammer, the Knockout Punch, the Cobra, the Samoan Spike, and so on.
Yeah.
Not every finishing move can be a slam or a submission, so naturally strikes become a common form of finisher. My main gripe with this kind of finishing move is that their perceived impact is downgraded significantly in an era of wrestling where everyone already punches and clotheslines each other in every match. You're going to tell me that a Big Show punch will finish off an opponent and his open-handed chop to the chest just made them hurt a little?
That's right.
Why doesn't the guy's rib cage turn to powder?
That's right.
Unless you wear brass knuckles like William Regal, I just have a hard time believing that your punch to the face, neck, or chest area is going to put someone down for the count.
That's right.
But by far, the dumbest finisher in this category has got to be the Great Khali's brain chop.
Whoa. Stop right there, Zane. Yeah, step aside, let the professionals in.
Uh-oh. Cameo.
Johnny and Ross from the world-famous flea market. What are you guys doing here?
Hey, Khali's got a crappy brain chop. That was like the thing he did best, but not really. He's still pretty goddamn terrible. You want to see a really, really shitty brain chop, Zane?
You know what? I think I do. Wow, that was pretty atrocious. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys.
No problem, you little douche canoe.
Hey. Number 2. The People's Elbow.
Thank you. I knew
was
it.
Considering lumping the Worm into the spot as well, but the key difference is the Worm rarely, if ever, actually ended a match.
No,
the
it did.
People's Elbow, on the other hand, is a move that eventually surpassed the Rock Bottom in terms of devastation. A move that started out as a rib between the boys,
That's
the
right.
People's Elbow was originally an over-the-top taunting style maneuver.
That's right.
The only difference between this and a regular elbow drop is the guy taking it can take a nap beforehand. But once The Rock became a mega face in '99, it suddenly became a move that people took seriously. Suddenly it became one of the most powerful moves in WWE history.
Ridiculous!
It is if Jericho's cocky pin actually kept someone down with the count of 3. The People's Elbow may have been a fun finisher during the salad days of the Attitude Era, but like Hogan's finisher, it has not aged well over time. Before we look at the worst of them all, here are some honorable mentions. The Warrior Splash.
Yes!
The body splash can be
Yes!
a devastating move, like from the top rope, or when a fat guy does it. But when the Ultimate Warrior did it, I don't buy it.
Just because his abs were so fucking powerful.
Unless the man was made of solid stone, the move doesn't look any more powerful than the leg drop.
That's right. It don't matter if it works. Oh, I hate that move too! I always hated that move.
Lands directly on his shoulder every time he hits this move.
I always hated that move.
At all. The Wasteland.
I hated that one too. As a finish.
You're one of those who complained about John Cena's finisher looking weak. You can somehow defend this.
Oh, I know what the worst finish is going to be. It's going to be Rey Mysterio Splash.
And the number 1 worst finisher
It's got to be Rey Mysterio Splash.
The Canadian Destroyer.
Really?
The most indie-rific move in the history of wrestling before the Meltzer driver. This is the move that had internet fans creaming their jeans in the mid-2000s. Oh yeah, it looked impressive the first time you saw Petey Williams bust it out in TNA, but once you turn your brain back on, you realize how ridiculous the move is. Am I supposed to believe that anyone, let alone a smaller guy like Williams, can lift a dead-weighted guy off his feet while
Look at that. They showed a picture of him doing it with Scott Lost.
The Hulk couldn't even do that. I don't mean Hulk Hogan, I mean the Incredible Hulk. I understand wrestling's need to evolve and to raise the bar with its offense, but how many times do you see this?
I gotta disagree with this one.
5, 10 times?
I gotta
a move
disagree
that
with
was
this one.
deemed innovative 10 or so years ago is now practically a false finish today.
I gotta
For the
disagree
sheer
with that.
absurdity of the move, both in the physics of it all and the amount of coordination needed between both parties in order for it to look good, the Canadian Destroyer is my pick for the worst finisher of all time.
I gotta
Which
disagree with this
finishing
one.
moves do you think belong on this list?
I
Let me know
disagree.
in the comments section.
You had me.
Thumbs up this video, subscribe to Wrestling with Regret, and buy the t-shirt. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.
I had to disagree with him. I have to disagree with you, Brian. I'm sorry. So sorry. I have to disagree with you on the Canadian Destroyer being the worst finish of all time. First of all, Canadian Destroyer is dope as shit. The fuck are you talking about? You fucking twist the fuck over. Now, I do agree with you that he's too small to do that on anybody, and that's one of my big things with finishers is that you kind of should be able to do that on almost anybody. You should be able to hit your finish on almost. That's why, like, I love Sweet Chin Music so much, or the Mandible Claw. Can be hit out of anywhere and can be hit on any fucking body. That's why I dislike the Rock Bottom when he does it to like the Big Show or somebody huge like that, because it's like, fuck you. There's no way your arm is gonna pick up 500 pounds and slam it down on the mat like that, Rocky. Fuck you. Fuck you. But I gotta disagree with you on the Canadian Destroyer. In my opinion, off the top of my head, in no particular order, some of the worst finishers of all time. People's Elbow, the Worm, the Wasteland as a finish, it's kind of shitty. The World's Strongest Slam, like I mentioned before. Rey Mysterio Splash. God damn, I hate it. Rey Mysterio is billed as 175 pounds. And not only does he not jump, not only is he 175 pounds, but he doesn't jump off the top fucking rope when he hits it. He lands on the top rope and just kind of falls lightly on. Fuck you! That's the shitty. That's supposed to take down the Undertaker. Fuck you. Fuck you, Ray. Fuck you for that. Go back to the 619 might have taken some fucking time, but at least it's a kick to the fucking head. The fuck is this? The fuck is that? IRS's fucking finisher. You remember his finisher? The ride-off? You know what the ride-off was? A fucking running, flying clothesline. That's it. You know how I know that? I had to do some fucking research because he almost never fucking used it. And when he did, nobody called it the ride-off. No announcers knew that it was the fucking ride-off. He just hit a fucking flying clothesline and his opponent kicked the fuck out. Fuck that move. What other moves are shit? Man. The high knee. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the high knee. Do you remember Bruce Bar Beefcake's many runs in WCW? Well, one of them, he came out as the Booty Man. You know what his finish was? It was the high knee. Get it? Get it? Because he would do a high knee, and get it? Because it is high knee, right? So, right? Anyway, I disagree with Hogan's leg drop slightly. I understand why it's on the list. Because, yes, X-Pac used it. A whole bunch of fucking people used it. And kind of took the importance away from the move. But if you actually think about the move, Hogan was 303 pounds, gaining momentum off the rope, dropping his 303 pounds on somebody's throat. Okay, I buy that as a fucking finish. Yeah, absolutely buy that as a fucking finish. Warrior Splash, absolutely agree. That move was shit. That move was fucking shit. That was the worst fucking Warrior move ever. God, there are so many shitty finishes. And the spear. I'm surprised I didn't see the fucking spear on there. I hate the spear as a finish. The spear is a good mid-match move. It's a good any variation. I don't give a fuck if it's Goldberg's, if it's the Gore, especially the fucking Gore. Because Rhino was lazy as fuck in WWE. All his matches consisted of were punch, kick, Gore in the corner, punch, kick, Gore in the corner, punch, kick, Gore in the other corner, and then punch, kick, Gore in the middle of the fucking ring. Until he got to fucking Benoit, Rhino's work was shit. And the fucking Gore was shit because he busted it out 20 times a fucking match. It meant nothing. Man, and the spear and the Gore is a shitty ass finishing move. It's great for a confrontation at the end. You hit the spear on somebody, you leave. But it's a shitty move. It was shitty when Edge used it, especially when Edge was all saggy and deflated and shit. And he cost that motherfucker his career. That shitty move cost Edge his career when he had the downward spiral, which was dope, and he stole Gangrel's DDT, which was dope. How the fuck do you settle on the shitty ass fucking spear that ends your fuck? God yeah, now I'm getting pissed off. Party people. See, I'd have to sit and think about what the absolute worst finish of all time is, but I think the ones I named all have a viable point to fucking number one spot. Party people, tell me what you think. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, as I'm about to do the crotch chop, the fucking X Factor kinda sucked. Especially considering that X-Pac was 212 pounds billed as. And all the move was is grab your face and just slam it into the mat. Like, really? You're just gonna grab my face with two hands? I'm not just gonna push you the fuck off? Really? Yeah, the X Factor kind of sucked too. Party people, tell me what you. But on that note, party. I'm trying to think. What are the DX members' finishers suck? See, I like Road Dogg's pump handle shit. I liked not necessarily. All right, fine as a finish, since nobody else is using it. Like, it doesn't take much for a finish to be good. You just have to think about your size, your opponent's size, and your abilities. And your opponent's abilities. That's pretty much it. You just have to think about those 4 things. What can you do? What can he do? And what can you do on a regular basis to make the shit look good? And can it be done on almost any fucking body? God damn. I hate all those. Good selections, Brian. Good selections. But I slightly disagree with you. I understand the leg drop, but I slightly disagree with you. I disagree with you completely on the Canadian Destroyer, boy. I'm sorry. Canadian Destroyer is still fucking dope. I wish somebody bigger would have come up with it, but it's still fucking dope. Party people, tell me what you think about this, that, or the other. Tell me what you think about Wrestling with Regret. Tell me what you think about his list, my list, your list. I'm gonna fucking drop the belt. Down there in the comments section, like, share, subscribe. Go to youtube.com/surreal469. Click the little blue button over on the right-hand side that says support. Why? Because you'll be supporting, and that ain't bad. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Suplex City, Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City, Suplex City, bitch.